Today we are drinking 19 Crimes, the Warden. It is a red wine. It's 14.5% alcohol. And that's why it costs more than the other 19 Crimes that was on this show. Sheesh. It says from...
story?
There's no story because there's no person on the front. It says from the late 1700s to late 1800s, approximately 162,000 men and women were transported via boat to a desolate island for a violation and conviction of 19 crimes. The warden celebrates those who cleverly ruled those cunning convicts with top guard, using them as a source of labor to build public facilities, transforming them into colonists who forged a new country brick by brick. These men and women, both the incarcerated and their custodians, were the building blocks of the nation we come to know as Australia. So, slavery. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I got from it.
Jam jar is a sweet Shiraz, and it is packed with juicy berry flavors and hints of dark chocolate. It pairs well with everything from cheeseburgers to chocolate pudding. It is 12.5% and it is a product of South Africa.
I was sitting there looking at getting some African wine yesterday.
I'm Sade, also known as @JustDay, and you can find me at omgitsjustday.com. Come on, Sniggle Fritz.
You got this.
Why did you go first?
I never go first. It's always you.
Hi. I'm Lindsay. You can follow me at McWilson889. Follow me.
Don't follow her. It's like season 2 and she's still, I don't even know why are you guys following her? Don't you know that stuff is contagious? I don't get it. Anyways, you should know me by now. It's AngelLeeTv. If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and if you don't want to watch us, you can always listen to us. Check us out on Anchor, and also check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
Today we're talking about Dave Chappelle and his special, and if he deserved to get canceled, even though he doesn't care that he's canceled. He got so much money that he's comfy.
He really doesn't care, because his whole special was basically, he started the special off saying that this is going to be the last, you guys aren't going to see me for a while. He's like, you know, after what I have to say.
They're probably going to cancel this.
I mean, whatever. I watched the whole thing. I didn't see what the big deal was. To be completely 100% honest, I don't get it. I don't understand why we're canceling him. Okay, yeah, the first couple of jokes were a little, yeah, they were bad jokes, and I think they were in poor taste. But he's a comedian, that's what he does. It's not like he hasn't said anything horrible before. But as he went along, if you were listening to these jokes, they weren't bad jokes. And they were taken, I took them as jokes. He never said anything the entire time. He kept poking fun at the fact that apparently someone says he's transphobic. So he kept saying that as a way of poking fun at himself.
And the family of the person that he was talking about in this special actually came out and said he's an awesome person.
Yeah.
He's paying for their kids to go to college.
Yeah. So please uncancel Dave Chappelle. Not that it matters either way. He's gonna keep doing what he does, and I feel like people are missing out on a really funny. It was hilarious stuff. It was really funny stuff.
But at the same time, it's not hilarious because transgender people are dying or being killed every day. They're being targeted for hate crimes and being killed every day. And so, somebody's probably somewhere who watched that special who already had misconceptions about transgender people, and they just use that to harass people more.
But I feel like he never said anything bad about transgender people. If anything, he said good things about them. So I don't really get why people are upset. I feel like either they didn't watch the whole thing, or they need to go back and rewatch it, or they weren't listening to the jokes. Or I don't know. I don't get it. I don't
like
get it.
The first couple of I don't think they watched the whole thing. And
know.
because it's like you have to watch the whole thing to have to understand he was not talking about you or has no problem about it whatsoever. He was just making jokes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people.
I think they were in bad taste.
The first couple, yeah, definitely. Where he was talking about Jewish people, yeah, definitely in bad taste. Because I didn't, they were bad jokes, because I was like, I don't really understand where you were going with that, but I think he knew that, and he just kept going. I was like,
His ego has gotten the best of him.
I don't get it. I disagree. I mean, yes, he definitely went for it, but I still don't get the whole, I didn't get it. I don't understand what people are mad about. He's a comedian. He made jokes. I didn't get offended. I don't understand. I mean, he made a very good story. It wasn't a good story, but it was a touching story into a whole joke. I mean, but it was a very, very cool thing where he explained about his friend, and you know, he touched on suicide and things like that, and you know, he made it human. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was very well thought out. You know, I didn't have a problem with the jokes. I just thought, you know, I think unfortunately people have gotten very sensitive and they forgot the fact that he's a comedian first. And I don't think he said anything. I mean, he never said anything like I hate transgender people or blah blah. If anything, he was like the contrary. He was saying he likes transgender people. And was saying really funny.
But he's giving people that hate transgender people material.
I mean, people give white people ammunition to hate black people all the time. There's so many bigger fires out there we need to be focused on with the transgender community that I feel like that ain't it.
My thing was what made this one, why did everyone attack Dave Chappelle when so many other comedians touched on way heavier subjects and made jokes about it? Why is it this one that everyone's...
I have no idea.
A younger comedian could never get away with what he did.
Maybe.
And if you replace some of the jokes that he said with black people or any other marginalized group of people, the people would be all up in arms.
But they have, and it was fun. I feel like the stuff that he said was not, it wasn't heavy stuff. I don't even like Dave Chappelle. Let this be known. I have no bias. I'm not a Dave Chappelle fan. I don't really think he's funny. This one, I actually laughed at a few of his jokes. Like, I was like, that's actually pretty funny. That's a good one. He's not one of my favorite comedians. I wouldn't go and see him in person, and whatever. He's never been one of my favorite comedians. But I don't see how this particular stand-up was any worse than things that I've seen, not just by him, by other comedians as well. I feel like I've heard some of these things. I've heard a lot of LGBTQ transgender jokes, and I was like, eh.
I feel like I heard Dave Chappelle wasn't even the tip of the iceberg compared to all the other comedians that I've heard sit there and talk about LGBTQIA. I don't think I forgot anything else. But I heard others sit there and rip real worse, but no one's ripping them a new one. They're ripping Dave Chappelle. I'm like,
I don't know. I just feel like this cancel culture is needed, but I think it's starting to go a little bit too far. People are really, really sensitive about things, and we're muting people as opposed to allowing them to put a foot in their mouth and then moving on. Like, he's a comedian. You knew he was going to say some raunchy stuff. He's never been the type of comedian that has not said raunchy things. So I think everybody that went to the show or clicked on it and said play, they kind of knew what it was going to be. If you're not a Dave Chappelle fan or you've never seen a Dave Chappelle stand-up, then maybe you were shocked. I get that. And you were like, oh my God. But if you watch through the whole thing and listen to the jokes instead of just as soon as he said transgender, get all up in arms like, oh my God, he's talking about us. He starts out talking about transgender, jokes, but you definitely can tell that it's a joke, and it wasn't mean-spirited jokes. They were actually funny jokes. There was nothing in there about, hatred. There's nothing about that. It was really funny stuff. I feel bad for people who, maybe took it the wrong way. I don't see how, because I was waiting for it. I was literally watching this, waiting for there to be a moment. The only moment I saw was when his first couple of jokes. And those weren't even about transgender. Those were about Jewish people, and there was another joke in there that I thought was in poor taste. If no one really laughed, everybody kind of gasped. And he even said, he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a bad joke, but it's okay, and moved on from it. So, I don't know. I don't want him to be canceled, but again, I don't think he cares.
What Tyra Banks do? What did Tyra Banks do? What hasn't Tyra Banks did? Tyra Banks allegedly was apparently terrorizing those poor girls behind the scenes of America's Next Top Model.
I'm pretty sure that happened. Because they was
I just watched a TikTok confession of the girl who won All Star. She said she only came back because she had gone to therapy after the initial trial of being on the original America's Next Top Model, and then they took winners and they did an All Star. She said, I only came back out of spite and I won. She made a TikTok and she was talking about how her name was Lisa. I think she was in season 6. Lisa, she was molested from childhood to like a decent chunk of her childhood, and I have auditioned for America's Next Top Model, and I know the paperwork. There is this question where they asked you, do you have any trauma, do you any psychological issues that you think might come up? So she put that was her trauma, thinking they might try and find me help with my trauma.
Why would you think that?
They said they kept pushing her to disclose that on the television show, and she's like, I'm not disclosing that. To the point where when she showed up on the Tyra Banks show, where they were doing this all-star event with people. The producers kept calling this poor girl and asking, hey, do you want to talk about your trauma on the Tyra Banks show? I think it would be cool if you would talk about, she's like, no, I want to talk about makeup and Fashion Week. And you're like, nah, you should talk about your trauma. She said she got called 3 or 4 times by 3 or 4 different producers. And she's like, nah. They're like, well, I guess we'll cancel your car and you just won't come. She's like, I guess I just won't come. She said,
why did my whole thing is, why did they keep pushing that button, talk about it, come on, talk about it.
But it gets worse, because they're like, okay, we're not going to talk about it, come to the show.
And then you get on there and they pull a coup and try and they ask you the question.
And they didn't only, no, she showed up, and before she was going out, they told her story for her. And this is before she had therapy and whatnot.
See, I don't know I don't want to say that this poor girl has a reason to tell a fib, but I know how TV shows.
And then another girl, she had problems with her dad, and she thought she was coming on to talk about makeup because she's an America's Next Top Model person too. Her dad caused all her trauma, so they invited her dad and didn't tell her on the show. I was like, that is terrorizing people.
She can't control. Well, that's what they do. This isn't news. This is.
And then that first girl, after she, when she did not know that they were going to mention her childhood trauma. So she goes out and she acts a whole ass. She said she was blindsided. She thought they came to an agreement. And they even offered her $700 to talk about her childhood trauma.
700? 700 is not enough money to sit here and talk about the shit I've been through. No.
So after she got off stage and she told the one girl, Corinne, Corinne, they brought your dad here. And Corinne thought she was lying or something, and so confused. They put Girlie in the closet and let her sit there and locked her in the damn closet. I said, what in the world?
Oh, no.
I would have sued.
We've heard a lot of stories like that. The first mistake from the first girl is if you have, and this is for anybody, if you got something that you don't want people to talk about or you don't want people to know, please don't write it down. If they ask you a question, you can literally just skip that.
And America's
or say no because it's none of their business.
America's Next Top Model makes them sign something that says you can't talk about anything about the production outside of the production.
A non-disclosure, which they should.
And apparently it's voided when they do something unethical. But a lot of people don't know that.
Oh yeah.
Because
they get canceled.
There's an ethics clause.
Yeah, if you do something, I don't know, like poison one of the contestants to try to win, that's unethical, and they will cancel your contract. Therefore, all bets are off. You are released from your contract, and you can talk about anything that happened up to that point. How do I know this? But I feel like you're putting yourself in, you knew it was a contest. You get up here and you sign whatever paper. When you get to that question, just don't say nothing. You don't have to answer. You made the choice to answer that, and they asked you if you've had any. I mean, I guess I would think they would want to know.
You're not supposed to have cell phones, and like when you get eliminated, it's so funny. You don't even go home when you get eliminated. They put you in a hotel.
Yeah, they put you in a hotel. You have to stay there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Chill out. Hopefully, your memory will get real cloudy over the
I'm glad I
next
didn't make it
couple
to the
of
show. I was gonna be I had producers vying very hard for me to cause I signed up for Are You the One, and they're like, oh, it's full, but we saw your audition and we want you to talk to the producers for this other show. So I talked to the producers, and they're like, so it's dating naked, and I'm like, no. They're like, don't even show your body. No.
Still a no go.
Because you knew when they say, oh, we won't, well then why do I need to be naked then? If you're not going to show my body, then why do you need to see me naked? I'm not dating you. I don't want you to see me naked. It makes no sense. You know it's a scam. You know that as soon as you get out of their sight, they're going to take that blur right off of there, and everybody's going to see your tatas till Tuesday. All of it. Wait, so it's Tyra Banks, and who's the other one?
Nicki Minaj.
No, wait.
We talked about her?
I don't know. We talked about the molesting.
I think we did.
I think we did.
We talked about that girl.
Yeah, we talked about Nicki.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Nicki. I don't know.
Ain't no poor Nicki.
Oh, Nicki.
Her
What she
brain.
did recently. What she did recently. She's been on the wrong side of issues all 2021. At least this girl consistent.
She hasn't changed. She's just
Apparently she was a terrible person before. We just had music to listen to. Now we don't really have any new music. She's just a trash person.
Sorry, Nicki, not really.
She took I think her name's Jessie from Little Mix. She took her side.
Oh, about her making that remix to Bad Boys for whatever it is. Or Bad
And
Boys,
like
whatever
it wasn't a whole, a cultural thing.
Appropriation of the culture.
No, wait, babe, wait.
Right.
Really?
She was like, yeah, that's definitely Jessie Nelson. Yeah, that's definitely cultural appropriation. Like someone, featured Nicki Minaj. First of all, P. Diddy's camp signed off on the darn sample of the song. Okay. And then they got to the point where they made the song. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then they got to the point where they made the video. There were so many hands in there. At one point, someone had
And
to
then
say,
they featured themselves in the video. Diddy was in there.
someone had to say this was a bad idea. No one said this was a bad idea.
No.
This was a bad idea. This was a bad thought. This was a bad plot. Who the hell came up with it?
They don't care. It creates buzz. They got the money to do it. Ain't nobody out here gonna tell them no. They can be out here looking like an ass if they want to. Go right ahead.
And she said she wasn't cultural appropriating. She was just tanning, and she was appreciating black culture. There's a way you can appreciate black culture.
Yeah,
But
become
not
knowledgeable. Be an ally. Support the cause. Don't be out here tanning, trying to look like us and hopping in the videos
Trying
and all
to
that
be
other
like
stuff.
us.
Especially when it goes so far as you're altering your looks. Like that's an insult. It's wearing blackface without it being blackface.
It
is
is
blackface.
Actually.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't understand how you got to. Who didn't say something to you? If your company or your agent really cared about you as an artist and said, hey, you know, and I want to make sure that you get the best representation and you get the best job. They should have told
Nicki
you.
Minaj's PR team.
They're probably just telling her to shut up.
I would quit at that point. Like, as someone who studied communication, it's like, you can't spin this, girl. You wrong.
But also, I wouldn't still want to be on Nicki's team and everything. I'm like, your whole life is bad. Take a look back at yourself and just think how bad your life is.
At this point, I feel like she can't really fix it. Because how do you fix that? What you gonna do? Divorce your pedophile husband? Take yourself out of the video with the little blackface white girl?
Regardless, even if she sat there and divorced him, you're still gonna have
The
that
damage
label because you married him
And
at
you
your
couldn't
ex.
keep your mouth shut. You
Right.
couldn't just shut up. All you had to do was take that stupid mistake and just shut up.
Take
What
the
you did.
L.
Take the L. We know that you did it. You could have just shut up. He would have probably just been like, well, it's her husband. She got to live with that nonsense. And when somebody came to you and said something that you didn't agree with, just be quiet. Your best defense is just no defense. Just be quiet. That's it.
Being quiet, silence
Keep your personal life,
silence is the key. That's a killer. But like you can't even keep quiet. It's so hard for you to do.
But this ain't the first time. Like she's always been problematic. You know, coming for people that haven't even sent for her. Like, stop. Just be cool. Like, I don't know if she's trying to prove something. Like, ooh, look, I can say this, I can do this.
I'm trying to prove that I could be wrong all the time.
Right.
And her fan base acts like a cult because you gotta hold your girl accountable for some things that just ain't right. Like,
and the thing is, we're not saying she's a bad artist. Okay, her music.
She's just a bad artist.
No, her music has nothing to do with her personal shit.
No,
like, her music is cool.
No, it's her personality and how she treats other people.
That's what
and
I'm
so
saying.
forth.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Her being that is what takes over how good she was of an artist.
Yeah.
That's what takes her over is how, you know, like
our perception of her now has been tainted. You know, but again, music is music.
I actually unfollowed her on Spotify, so it would no longer recommend Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, which is it's sad because you know I don't know if she writes her own lyrics, and frankly, I don't really care.
I press skip on songs that she's featured on, you know,
because it's like I said, you could have just shut up and just let nature take its course, but you had to interject yourself and say things that are hurtful, disgusting, and then continuously talk. So you ruined this for yourself. You didn't. We don't care. We got enough female rappers out here at this point. We can just, you know, we got enough. We got Meg. We got Saweetie, whatever her name is. Swati. You know, we got Cardi B. We're okay without you. You can leave the scene and we won't care. Huh?
Cardi B should have been the first one.
We got Remy Ma, which you also came for, that squashed you like a bug.
Right.
You should probably you should have quit after that. You should have really just stopped right there.
No, but she kept on coming.
On another note, I thought it was a lie, but it went viral and it's right. California regular gas is $7.59.
Ew.
Wow.
$7.59
a gallon.
If you want to drive your car, you gotta get gas.
That's true. I know all them Tesla people are out there like.
All I gotta do is charge.
Some places in Cali it's $7, and some places it's up to $6.
Listen, when I move to Cali, I am getting a Tesla. Tesla, you have my business. I know those Tesla drivers are literally driving past the gas station, laughing at people.
But
as much as you sit in traffic,
it was so
true.
As much as you sit in traffic over there,
ain't gonna be no traffic because ain't nobody got gas.
You could run out of electricity for your car and you just be on the side of the road in your Tesla.
But wait, it was so funny when they said that the Tesla will sit there and return itself.
Yeah, apparently, if you own a Tesla and you don't pay your note, the Tesla will repossess itself.
Be like, no need for a truck.
Yeah,
I
don't
can
worry.
do this.
Don't worry about them, the tow truck coming to get your shit. It will literally leave you. It'll get up and just go. You'll ask your neighbors what happened. They'll be like, nah, the car just drove away. Cause I love everything about Tesla. Tesla, come on. Yeah, I need a little, send something this way. A jacket, a hat, a car. I don't know. Something. But yeah, that did make me chuckle. Because I can't imagine my car having that type of an attitude. Be like, I'm sick of you. You don't pay for me. Got people calling, asking for money, and you're just not going to pay them, so I'm out.
Alrighty.
It's all in good fun. Make sure that you guys comment down below. I think this is
The
it.
comment section will probably be something like right here, right here.
Yeah. And again, make sure you guys follow us on all the platforms: Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook.
Listen to us on
You
Spotify.
said that.
If you got Apple, listen to us on Apple Podcasts. Ooh, and also, you will be able to actually see us or listen to us on Anchor, because there is a brand new part of Anchor that allows us to bring you video content and listening content. So you can just be like, whatever. But yeah, we love you guys. Bye, people.
Bye.